That brings us into the Diamond Dukes. I got some stats, man.
All right, hit me.
All right, it's 18 days until opening day against number 3, Arkansas at Arkansas. You got Fenwick Trimble, who led the team in home runs a year ago. He's a guy to watch. He's the highest rated draft prospect on this JMU team. They got a few draft prospects per perfect game. Fenwick Trimble, pitcher T.R. Williams, pitcher Joe Vagazzi, I'm mispronouncing his name, pitcher Jaden Kinsler, fielder Mike Mancini, and pitcher Luke McGrath. Joe Vagatsky is what I'm going to say. I need to pull up a pronunciation guide. But Joe Vagazzi, the pitcher, he was actually drafted in the 14th round of last year's MLB draft, decided to come back. So a good arm, an MLB, maybe not an MLB exactly arm. That's why he's coming back to develop a little bit more in the college ranks. But a guy that was good enough to be drafted a year ago, they're all coming back. So there should be a lot of talent on this Duke squad again.
That's the idea. They should be talented, but I don't know. It's the will they, won't they, right? With Marlon Eikenberry, where they haven't made an NCAA regional, but they also haven't been dog water. So they're right in that middle ground. There are big questions this year, right? Because you've still got to hire a new athletic director in the spring. What are they going to do at the end of this baseball season? The major question: the Sun Belt's a baseball league. The Valley is a baseball community. We talk about this every podcast, not every podcast, but every year. So I don't know. Are they going to be good this year? You tell me.
So you got T.R. Williams, Vagatsky, Kinsler, and McGrath. You got 4 pitchers who, according to Perfect Game, are pro prospects, right? Coming into this year, there'll be scouts at some games watching these guys pitch. So you got to expect that Eikenberry will have something up his sleeve, will have a good pitching staff, or that's what you would kind of hope. So he took over in 2016, and in that time, he's had 18 players make it to the professional leagues, whether independent, minors, or make it eventually to the MLB. He's had 18 players do that. 10 of those 18 have been pitchers. Over that time frame, though, starting in 2016, his staffs have finished in ERA in the conference 9th, 7th, 1st. Awesome in 2019. However, that first place team did have 4 players that went on to become professionals, 2 of which were MLB players in Kevin Kelly and Nick Robertson. They didn't win a CAA tournament game. They lost their first CAA tournament game, I believe 2-1, and then lost like 9-7 or something like that in the CAA losers bracket. All right, then 2020 COVID hit. 21, 8th, 5th, and then last year they finished 8th in the conference in their first year in the Sun Belt. This is another stacked pitching staff, similar to 2019. I mean, what's going to happen? This was a team that a year ago they were 1-9 against Quad 1 teams, 3-9 against Quad 2 teams, but they were 15-3 against Q3 and 12-4 against Quad 4. So, yeah, kind of like what you said. It's a little bit of a yikes.
Big year.
Like
big year. I think this one's actually the year when something has to happen. And by something, I mean like you make an NCAA regional.
You have 4 guys on your roster who, according to, and I know I'm putting a lot of faith in what Perfect Game is saying, but 4 pro prospects, maybe one of them was drafted a year ago, but you got 4 guys on your roster like that, right? You also are returning 73% of your innings pitched from a year ago and 72% of all of your strikeouts from a year ago. And on the offensive side, you're returning 61% of your at-bats, 64% of your runs, and 59% of your hits, and you're returning one of your most potent bats in the lineup in Fenwick Trimble. You should be competitive. You finished 7th in the Sun Belt last year with a 15-13 record in Sun Belt play. You need to get over that hump. And I think this team has the capability of doing that. And I think if they don't, I'll still be on this podcast yelling next year.
That's fair. Of note, new pitching coach this year. I believe they lost Jimmy Jackson to Maryland, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Travis Farrick, new pitching coach, comes to JMU from Dayton, where did some nice stuff. 2023, Dayton set the program record for strikeouts in a season with 552, top 50 nationally in strikeouts per nine. Recruited really well. They actually had a top 100 national recruiting class. So an interesting addition there. But they kind of got to put up or shut up. It's time to make some noise. And they were fairly competitive in the Sun Belt last year
And the
until
thing is,
the tournament.
they got talent. 18 people have gone on to play professionally under Marlon Eikenberry since 2016. That's a good clip.
Good number of guys.
Good number of guys. You gotta put together. I'm not even going to be as needy as Bennett. I'm not even going to say you need to make an NCAA regional. I would love for you to win 2-3 games in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Is that too much to ask for? I think Eikenberry has won one postseason game since coming to JMU.
It's been a struggle for him, and I gotta figure out. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. If they still list it the way that they used to. No, I think I went back and did it on my own. I guess. His record in conference tournaments is poor.
Yeah,
I'll
and
have
he's
to. I'll find the real number next time, but it's one where he's like, it's like a 2-15 kind of like something like tough.
yeah, it's bad. I mean, they got a win last year in the losers bracket, I think.
Well, there you go.
Something like that. All right. But a team that I think has potential to make some noise in the Sun Belt this year is softball.
Are they back?
Am I crazy for thinking that?
It's time for them to be back.
So after a Women's College World Series run, that roster gets decimated by graduation. You lose like all of your key players. Sarah Jubis gone, Odyssey Alexander gone, Kate Gordon gone.
Yeah.
Half of that lineup was gone. And now we're 11 days out from opening day. They're taking on Ball State to start their season in the River City Leadoff, hosted by Jacksonville University. They return a lot of big-time talent from a year ago. They're like baseball, where they're a pretty experienced team. 87% of their hit production from a year ago, 82% of their RBIs, and they return their ace, Alyssa Humphrey.
Yeah, they've got a nice group of players.
Everything okay in your apartment?
Yeah, they got a nice group of players that return. Kirsten Fleet is an exciting one, the true freshman pitcher who has a chance to be a superstar. They also added Molly Grubb from Virginia, transfer pitcher, and Peyton List, Virginia Tech transfer. Best pitching staff they've had in years.
Yeah, which is going to be really important because I think their offense should be good, powered by KK Mathis.
We'll see. I think they're going to need some help outside of KK, but the potential is there for a good year.
Yeah, they also lost Hannah Shiflett. She led the team in home runs, had a 1.245 OPS. So you're going to see, I'm thinking Kylie Gleason as a potential player to step up. She had the second best batting average a year ago. She'll be a senior, plays out in the outfield, a transfer from South Carolina. Going to have a good season out of her to kind of replace that Hannah Shiflett production. I think they can. And with a really great pitching staff, you might not necessarily need an elite level offense.
Some rumors that Peyton List could do a little bit of both too. Virginia Tech transfer, highly touted recruit, underclassman. Might have some Megan Good vibes. We'll see.
Exciting. That's where JMU's always succeeded, when they have that DP as their pitcher.
That's right.
Designated player instead of designated hitter in